Professional identity for me is a build-up of skills and knowledge that you acquire throughout the years.
Well, my vision and identity has dictated what I've spent all of my time here learning and studying, really. Every course I've taken, every project. But of course it was an evolving process, so my initial vision and identity was a bit weak because I didn't really understand what that meant. And then you just sort of start to develop skills and you sort of express your own character in design, and that becomes your vision in a way.
Vision is how you see the ideal future world, so the world that you want to build towards as a designer.
Well, your vision and identity are very closely linked, I think. So I would say more that your character announces in your identity, and then with your vision, it's like, yeah, but what are you going to do with that? Okay, so this is me, and of course, as I say, when you start, you don't maybe have that many skills, but you develop the skills. But at the same time, you must always bear in mind, okay, but what am I going to do with that? How does that announce? It's all very well if I like form, but in design, how do I find the value in form? Yeah, I mean, you can talk to people, and you can. What I have noticed, it's happened with a couple of other students as well, that perhaps your vision is a bit unclear at a certain point. What helped me and several other students, we had only talk about this recently, is that sometimes someone else needs to come up to you and says, yeah, but your work's always like this.
I think it can be stimulated by focusing on what you think is interesting. If you really look into something that you connect with, and it can be anything, it can be the skills or the knowledge about a certain subject, let's say elderly, then you get really to be an expert in this subject, and then you develop a certain skill set that belongs to this subject and certain knowledge base that belongs to the subject. And that will build kind of, let's say, an experienced intuition that will help you make choices quickly based on the knowledge and skills that you have acquired already.
Yeah.
So I think focusing on things that you click with.
So sometimes I think it's good to discuss your vision, especially with other people. So sometimes you can be, in English we say you're too close. You're in the woods and you can't see the wood for the trees. We say, you know, you're too close. You need to have someone, either you zoom out from yourself or have someone else say, hey, Rich, you know you always do this.
But also, I think you have to kind of combine it with the vision that you have. Because if you want to build towards a certain world, and for that you want certain things, then you need to really develop the knowledge and skill set that will help you realize that.
Every piece of design work I do, I definitely bring my vision and identity to it. So if we had the same design brief, I'm fairly sure my solutions would be different. They're very much flavoured by the things I value, and you might value different things.
Well, it kind of frames you as a certain type of designer. So right now, my identity includes a lot of technical skills and knowledge on shape-changing interfaces. And I'm also triggered by this. So that will also kind of shape what kind of skills and knowledge I bring to the table in a team.
So I think at this point in the game, my work's very clearly has certain elements that, I mean, I'm increasingly interested in form and the significance of that on the experiential aspect of design. And someone else, that might not at all be an issue. So since you threw the word professional in there, I think at a given point there is an element of alignment. So maybe a client's looking for a specific kind of work, and if they see that in your work, then they will likely come to you. Whereas if what I'm doing isn't interesting to them, then they'll just go to someone that has that vision.
So in that way, it kind of defines your role in the team and in your future job. In general,
Yeah.
if it's important,
Yeah.
yes, for the reasons that I give. Depends on what kind of designer you want to be. I mean, if you want to spend your day doing very mundane tasks, then that's fine. But if you really want to make a change, you have to have a vision.
Yeah.
If you really, if you want to get somewhere, then defining where you want to go and making a plan towards that is the only way to help you come closer to it. So, in the sense that if you want to develop to become that kind of designer, then yes, you need it. Okay, I think you're self-aware in the sense that you know that you're learning towards something instead of just having accidental learning moments.
I think so, because if you have, or at least, I mean, you can be wrong. This is the point. You can be wrong in one semester, and you can do some work, and then you can find that you were wrong and maybe correct it. But I think if you are self-aware, then you get a different kind of coaching. So you more get a higher level of steering, and you more get a higher level of advice. Or, oh, have you seen the work of this person, or are you aware of this research, and so on. Whereas if you don't have it, then I think you're really not quite at the level of that yet. Then you need more building block help, perhaps, I should say. That's probably been my experience.
Because of accidental learning moments, you do something and you accidentally learn, or you purposefully go into a certain path and you learn on purpose. You always have both. Mostly the accidental one, you cannot not have the accidental one, but to have a more focused one is definitely something you can see, because that makes like a red thread throughout the work. If you don't have that, then your learning moments will be here and there and there and there without being able to give the reason why. As soon as you have the vision, then you can say why.
If you're aware of what you're doing on a high level, then you are going to be a more reflective practitioner. So, and then of course coaches will coach you at the level that they think you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the vision is really what kind of problems do I want to tackle in the world, really. So I have my identity, but what am I going to do with that? So when it comes to design work, how do I express my identity?
Well, I think a person is made up of many identities. Let's start with that. I have an identity as a person. I have an identity which is based on my hobbies, identity which is based on my family. When I'm with my family, I might have a different kind of identity that I go towards. So professional identity is basically the identity that you have in your professional environment.
These are kind of the instruments, if you like. Your vision is the music. So with this huge collection of skills and knowledge that you gather, what tune do you want to play?
So in my professional environment, I'm more of a programmer, but in my personal environment, I'm not. So for me, professional identity is more about the skills and the knowledge that you develop in your professional field.
Yeah,
that's it.
And why? Mm-hmm. So why do you want to do that? Why is it interesting to you to consider children in the automotive? Well, I have a son, so.
Well, definitely. I think the nice thing about the study here is that you are allowed to have a vision and to follow this vision. So where some other more traditional studies will have a set path in which this you have to learn, that you have to learn, now you get this program, now you have this skill developed. Here you can actually decide, okay, this is the kind of design I want to be, this is my vision, and I'm going to develop in that way.
But as I say, professionally, the kind of work you do will ultimately express your identity.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's strong or clear, or you have good ideas about things and you express that through your vision, then that will give you the flavour of your design work, will be as a consequence of that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's great for students here. I think it's crucial for students here to have a vision, because if you don't have a vision, then all the freedom will kill you. Then you will not do anything. They will just be here and, and yeah, in essence, it's okay if you don't have a fully developed vision in the start. The most important thing is to just start trying stuff, and the vision will develop. Just be aware of it.